Hey there, welcome to the Marketing Happy Hour podcast, where each week we're learning career-defining advice, powerful social media strategies, unique creative tips, groundbreaking influencer marketing tactics, and more from marketing experts that represent some of the world's leading brands. Let's dive in. Grab a drink and join your hosts, Cassie and Erica, for this week's episode.
Hey, Cass, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. I can't believe we're already at the end of season 5. I feel like we were just recording our last closeout episode. It feels like time's going by way too fast this year.
I know. The seasons go by so quickly, and I'm not going to lie, it's nice to have kind of a break, but it's kind of sad when we get to the end that we just don't have podcast content going out for a little bit, but we'll stay in touch with everyone on social.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, we have to start this out the way that we start every episode, and that is by asking what is in our glass tonight, but we're actually recording this at like 11 a.m. So, Cassie, what is in your glass this morning?
So I just have water this morning, not double fisting for once. But I did just drink a Celsius because I'm very tired this morning. And so I just had that, but now we have moved on to water for the day. How about you?
Love that. I took a page out of your book. I am double fisting today. I have my coffee. It's actually pretty embarrassing because I got this coffee from a hotel. And I like took it out of their little, their little setup they always have with like tea and coffee and their little kettle thing. But it was like a steep in bag coffee. So I took it from there and it's actually pretty good. I'm like fairly impressed by it.
That's so fun.
My water that I have is actually very fancy water. I'm now obsessed with Aqua Panna. It's just so crisp, and I feel like everyone was talking about it. I was seeing commercials for it, and I was like, I don't need water in a glass bottle. Like, what bougie person needs that? But I am sold on it. So
I love it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that water too. I'm such a weird water person. Like I will not, sorry to anyone from Dasani, I will not drink Dasani. I won't drink Aquafina. I have very specific tastes. So, but that water definitely passed the test. So yeah. I'm a huge fan.
My big one is I will not drink the Nestle water, the Pure Life water. It doesn't even taste like water to me. It tastes like emptiness and just like regret. Like, I don't know. It's horrible. I don't like it. Sorry, Nestle. You're a great company, but I don't love your water. You should work on that.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, Cass, I'd love to just dive in. We were just talking about this a little bit before we hit record, but what were some of your favorite moments or takeaways from this season?
Oh man, I have so many. So I'm thinking back to my recording with Becca. So Becca is from Hilton Grand Vacations and she does social media for them. And for her, she was just sharing how customer service and really building relationships with their customer community is so important. And she reiterated the fact that building community is really the purpose of social media. And so that was kind of cool to peel the curtain back on what she does there and how their team works together. But I also loved hearing about her story of going from working for herself to the corporate world. You don't really see that transition. It's kind of the other way around. And so hearing about that and how she didn't really ever picture that for herself, but it kind of became something that was okay. And she was excited about that opportunity. And it really just reiterated the fact that whether you're working in corporate or you're working for yourself, be open to the transition either way, because you never know what that may offer to you in your career where you're at then. And you can always go back too. So just be flexible with your journey and be open to different types of opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of our episodes this season had a really big element of like career advice and encouragement. And that was a big piece that I took away too from Becca's episode. So that's awesome. I wanted to share about Annie Atwell. She was our first episode from this season. She's from Juneshine, and she talked a lot about something we haven't heard too much about on the podcast, which is sustainability in marketing and how that really shapes the Juneshine brand. It was really, really cool to see what they're up to. And I keep seeing some of the fun initiatives she hinted at coming to fruition on social, and including the Diplo collab that they did. I actually saw that in person when I was visiting Chicago, and I snapped a picture of it and sent it over to Cassie because I was like, look it's what Annie was talking about. So that was really, really cool to see in real life, something that she shared about on the podcast. So that was awesome.
Yeah, I really love too. She is so incredibly passionate about what she does and the mission behind that brand that she works for. And it's really one of the first times I've ever seen someone just have that much fire behind it and such a deep connection between their personal values and the brand that they work for. So it's really a cool reminder just to find companies that you align in values with. And you can tell she's just exactly where she should be just based off of that. But I also really enjoyed her conversation. And it's just so cool too for us to be able to see a lot of these brands out in the real world and these launches that we get to talk about with our guests. But another person that I really enjoyed the conversation with was Rita. So Rita and I talked about podcasting, which was one of our first few dives into podcasting. She shared a lot about the strategy behind it, how to launch, how to cater your content towards your audience, and what that looks like. And Rita's also a personal friend. So we just had a fun conversation together, connecting on our personal interests, but really loved learning from her because a lot of stuff that she shares with her podcast clients, I have never heard about. And so excited to take those into Marketing Happy Hour and other podcasts that we collaborate on.
That's so fun. Yeah, I loved that. I loved hearing all about that. And it reminds me too of Michelle Westfall that we had on the podcast. She was from Universal Parks and Resorts. She actually pitched and launched the Discover Universal podcast with her team and talked a lot about having new ideas and pitching them to a team that maybe isn't totally aligned with your vision and how to get them all on the same page. And so that was a really cool to hear. And we talked a little bit about podcast management in that one as well. So definitely a couple different touches on podcasts this season.
Yeah. Podcasting is such a fun topic to dive into. So excited to see who else we can discuss with in the future on that. But yeah, Michelle's conversation was so fun and just really cool to hear what they're up to and the confidence that she had to bring that new idea to the table and how she did that, the deck that she put together and tips for presenting new ideas to your team. But the last episode I want to call out is the one that I recorded with Kalia. So Kalia is an influencer coach. She started Network to Net Worth, the course that she has. She now has a light version of the course. I am obsessed recently with creating courses and the whole strategy and process behind developing courses. And so hearing how her and her team developed their courses, the strategy behind launches, how to engage the community between launches as well was really cool for me to learn from. And so really enjoyed hearing from her. And she's, of course, a personal friend of ours as well. And so really fun to see where she's been and what she's been up to with her brand also.
Yeah, absolutely. And she is very knowledgeable in the influencer marketing space, as well as launching a course. I always see her launch strategies and I'm like, this is brilliant. She's always like adding personal touches and all of that. So I really admire that. And it was so cool to hear from her. Speaking of close friends, we also had Amy, one of my close friends, on the podcast. She's a photographer. And she actually talked a lot too about hidden costs for like brand photo shoots. And I think it's information that a lot of people don't realize. And I didn't even realize when I started in like social media and like content creation and things like that. I didn't know that, you know, it's not just a photographer with a camera. It's like all of these different elements that go into it and usage and editing fees and all sorts of things. So she kind of dives a lot into that. And I really enjoyed that. And then also just like chatting during the episode was so fun. She's the best. So totally encourage everyone to listen to that one. And then just lastly, I wanted to touch on Elise too, from Wine Enthusiast. I subscribed to that magazine so long ago. And so I was like having a fangirl moment when she said yes to coming on the podcast. And it was just so cool to hear what she's up to on social media, how they're positioning their brand on different platforms. And she's also a fellow English major, so she gets me. And we had kind of a long conversation, and it's probably because we both love to say words because we were English majors. So yeah, that I just feel like every episode this season was just a standout episode in their own categories. So highly recommend everyone listens to the entire season. I mean, of course we're going to say that, but even if I was objectively looking at this from just being a listener, I feel like there's a lot of really good nuggets in every episode.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, we had so much fun and kind of started to vary the content again to hear from different diverse backgrounds and people that work on a lot of different teams that we haven't heard from before. So it was just really cool to continue to kind of dive into the world of marketing and hear about different nuances of different departments and skill sets and roles that you can take on in the field. So hopefully it was really valuable to you as well.
Awesome. And then I wanted to dive into a little bit about what we learned about marketing or just this whole process of doing marketing happy hour throughout this season. Is there anything that stands out to you?
I was reminded of the importance of email and how email comes into play with really fostering a community around a brand. And so I know this season we really started to prioritize email, just newsletters in general. We have the one on LinkedIn. And so email for us is going to be super important in the future, just as we launch new initiatives and build that community around marketing happy hour. And so if you haven't subscribed to our email list yet, please do that. It's at the link in our bio on our Instagram. But we're also working on some really fun lead magnets, just added resources for you. And so we'll be launching those soon. And that's something that we'll release through our email list. So make sure to stay tuned there, but excited to continue to test email, really build out the content there that we provide to our audience and see where that goes. What about you, Erica?
Yeah, no, to echo that, and you mentioned it a little bit, our LinkedIn newsletter we launched this season. And honestly, it's been my favorite part of marketing happy hour so far, just because I feel like there's a lot of sections in there that are really fun to put together. So there's a section that does a little cheers to our listeners, and people are submitting their favorite episode and something that they wish they knew when they started their career. And it's just fun to get to know the community that way, kind of like more personally, instead of just like, oh, the listeners out there, So I love putting together that section. We also have a section in there about like what's filling our glass this week is what we're calling it, but it's really just us sharing the things that we're liking lately. So I even just shared about like some of the brands that I enjoy. And I know Cassie has shared some great resources and courses and things like that. So definitely worth checking out. If you want to go to, it's actually under my profile on LinkedIn, Erica Spitzley, and you'll find our Marketing Happy Hour weekly newsletter there, and it'll actually be dropped into your email inbox as well, the email that's associated with your LinkedIn. So super fun. We also share some hot jobs of the week there, which is like my bread and butter. I love looking on LinkedIn and finding all of that stuff. So it's really fun for me, and I hope everyone is enjoying it. We have a good amount of subscribers now, and I'm excited to just dive in more and see what else we can do with that, as well as email. So super, super excited to continue building our community. I think that's a big part of what we'd had been missing in the last few seasons. We just wanted to be more connected. So I think we're starting to build that out.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. I think the root of what we're trying to build here and just continue to build for the future is more of a community driven brand. And so not only getting to know everyone in our community, highlighting and celebrating everyone in our community, but creating resources specifically for everyone in our community. And so you may notice that we have polls that we'll host on Instagram sometimes just to get to know everyone better and see what you're seeking in your professional career. And so if you ever have any ideas or things you want to see that are missing out there in the market that you need for where you're at in your professional and just personal life, please message us on Instagram because we have a lot of ideas, but we want to hear from you and because we're creating things specifically for you. So certainly let us know what you would be looking for in courses, resources, anything like that, and podcast episodes as well. And we'll definitely take that into consideration.
Yes. Okay, Cassie, how did you grow personally or in your career throughout season 5? The timeline 5.
Yeah. So I feel like, and I think I might have talked about this at the last season closer, but just finding more balance in my life has been a priority. So I've really worked towards that, but also specifically professionally, I've been in kind of this weird career pivot / trying to figure out the future of where I want to take my business. And so my background has really been in social media fully, but I feel like I've really gravitated more towards other areas of marketing and more content driven marketing as well. And so doing a lot of email copy and website copy and course creation and podcast launching as well. And it's so funny because for the longest time, I was trying to figure out what that is because it's such a kind of broad range of different services. And it was Michelle's episode, and she was explaining what she does as a content strategist. And it's so funny. I was listening to her episode in the car one morning, and I was like, I think that's what it is. I think I do content strategy because she kind of taps into a lot of different skill sets and services for her team. She does YouTube strategy and podcast strategy and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of what I do. And so I'm kind of diving into that role of content strategy and what that looks like for me. So thanks to Michelle for helping me clarify that for my life. But really excited to continue to really discover like where my sweet spot is and what I love to do and where my passions align with that. So yeah, I'll keep diving into that in the future. But how about you, Erica? How'd you grow?
No, that's exciting. I'm excited to see what that means for you and your business. I'm just excited to watch everything grow. And for me, I just think we talked about it a little bit last season. We had that whole episode on like career changes and what burnout looks like and how to avoid it. And apparently I needed to take my advice because I feel like I did reach a little bit of a point of burnout. And so I've just learned that it's time to take a reset and a rest and, really put myself first so that I can be the best version of my creative professional self that I know I can be. And so, and I think that's totally okay. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds. And I think that's also something that we've just talked a lot about is like career advice and things like that. And we've had the opportunity to speak at like USF, University of South Florida, to some marketing students where we talked a lot about career and even gave away like a career coaching session. I just feel like we're moving into a little bit more of like some career coaching too, which is really awesome. And I'm excited to see where all of that goes too. And then I just wanted to touch on a little bit what we're both excited about for next season. So I am really pumped because last night we just sat down with Kara from Southwest Airlines, and she is incredible. She actually is pretty much in charge of the influencer campaigns that they run. So she talked a lot about one of their recent ones where they've sent people to Hawaii because that's a big focus for them, which is incredible because I know you actually went to Hawaii, and I think one of the airlines that you used was Southwest.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just cool to see that come to light. And then she also runs internal social media for them, which is really cool. We haven't really had anybody on the podcast that does internal communications besides, I think, Sylvester in the first season. He works at NASA, and I think he does like internal communications, but not internal social. So really an interesting episode to look forward to next season. What do you think, Cass?
Yeah, Kara's episode was so much fun, and she was on Clubhouse with us earlier last year, I believe. And so kind of cool to check in with her and see how her career has changed over time. But I also recorded an episode last week for season 6 with Needy Bagat of ESPN. And so I kind of told her, I have 2 brothers. I've always watched ESPN, love sports. And so that was really cool to kind of talk about the sports industry a little bit more, but she has a really unique background. She started in production, worked for NFL Films, had some amazing internships, and just has a really great educational background as well. And so she's pivoted more into the marketing side, but she talked about the importance of storytelling and how a lot of what she learned in production and film really applies to the world of marketing, especially as brands are adopting more video and telling more stories with their marketing, and how that's really how you engage in and leverage the attention of your audience. And so she is still very new in her career, but she's so smart and she has done so much already. And so it's just cool to hear about that and her career journey and how she left ESPN after an internship, came back and really left that door open for her. And that was solely based on relationships that she built and just leaving on a good foot with a company. So really cool to hear her career advice at such a young age as well.
Yeah, that's so funny you mentioned that too, because Kara did the same thing with Southwest. She interned there and they didn't have a position open when the time came for her to be looking for full time. And then she applied again and she's back at Southwest. So that's crazy that they both had that in common. I haven't listened to that conversation that you had with her yet, but I'm super excited to dive in. I really look forward to that. I watch ESPN. The only thing I really watch on ESPN is a cornhole tournament. So I'm really, exposing myself there, but still excited to tune in. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, shifting gears just a little bit, we usually do a round of rapid fire questions, but I actually figured that maybe our listeners want to hear something else from us. So I actually have this game. It is a drinking game, but we are going to be participating with water and coffee. And I took out all of the inappropriate cards. So I think it'll be really fun. And we can kind of just run through these really fast. And if we have any kind of anecdotes around anything, we'll just share them. And I feel like it'll just be a fun little thing to do.
I love it. Wait, what's the game called?
It's called Buzzed. I don't know that I recommend it because it is I was gifted the game and I didn't really realize that it's take 2 drinks if this, take 3 drinks if that. So I don't really recommend to play the entire box out because you'd be on the floor and that would not be a good time. But for the sake of the podcast, I think it'll be fine.
Perfect. Yeah. So don't buy it. We're going to play it for you, and we'll get buzzed on coffee, but yes.
Fantastic. Okay. First question, Cassie.
All right.
And me, I guess we're playing this at the same time. So we'll just both do it. Okay. If you've ever had a tumbler drink up, I did.
Oh,
it's that blog website.
Yes. Okay. Wait. My brain went to a drink tumbler as soon as you said that. I was like, yeah, I've had a tumbler. I forgot about the platform. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yes, I will take a drink. I have had one.
Oh my gosh. I used to love that thing. I don't know if it still exists, but I know.
It's like the original Pinterest kind of very visual, aesthetic.
Blog,
yeah.
I don't know. I used to love
it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone who has milked a cow drink. Drink and tell us how it made you feel.
I did not. I have never milked a cow. Have you?
You know what? I probably did on a 4th grade field trip to a farm or something like that. Cause they always do that kind of stuff, but I don't remember it. So I'm not going to participate.
All right.
Okay. Drink if you took an AP class in high school, nerd.
Nope.
I did. I don't even remember what AP classes I took. I know it was English and I want to say history.
Did you pass the test at the end?
I did. I think I don't want to misquote what I got. I think I got a 4. I think you would
Okay.
get out of 5.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah, awesome. I am a horrible test taker, so I did not even dare to take an AP test. I actually my SAT and AP, no, what is it? What's the other one? ACT, right?
ACT, yeah.
Yeah, my scores were really bad. I will not mention them on the show. But yeah, I did
But
not
there's
dare.
hope for everyone. If you have a good or
Yes.
bad ACT, SAT, AP score, there's still hope because
Exactly.
you'll get to where you want to be. Okay, that's our little
There's
motivational
the
speech for the
anecdote.
day. All right. Go around and name different kinds of sushi rolls. First one to F up drinks. Okay, you go first.
California roll,
Oh my God, that's what I was gonna say. It's spicy tuna.
dragon roll.
No, I don't know. I don't know sushi rolls.
All right. I feel like you could just make anything up and it would be,
Yeah,
you never know.
Florida roll. Oh, I've seen also like
Tampa
Philadelphia roll. I've
Yeah.
seen Philadelphia roll with cream cheese,
Yes.
but whatever. Okay, if you've ever owned Crocs, drink.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. I feel like everyone did, at least when they were a kid, when they were like in. My dad used to have the hookup because he knew a guy that worked at the Crocs like
Ooh,
corporate, and they would like always send him Crocs. So
I love
my
it.
mom still wears them. She loves them. Not like the actual Crocs, but like the Croc sandals, I guess, that they have now.
Yes.
Okay, take a drink if your mom still makes your doctor appointments and then grow the F up. Oh no.
No.
No, my mom doesn't, but I admittedly, I think it took a little bit too long for me to do that on my own because I still don't really enjoy calling, like cold calling anybody. So,
No.
Drink once if you call it soda and 3 times if you call it pop. Okay, well, I guess I have to
I'm
take
in
3
between.
drinks.
Yeah, I'm in between because I mean, we're both kind of from the Midwest. And so that's definitely a Midwest thing. So I would
I
probably
also
take 2.
don't say pop or soda too much because I really don't drink those. So I'm not like, oh,
Mhm.
get me a soda, get me a pop, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, every player, oh, there's just 2 of us. Okay. Every player takes a drink for each year that they had braces. I never had braces.
Oh gosh. I had braces for like 5 years. So
Mhm.
drink up,
5.
Cassie.
Yeah. 5 large sips of water for
Oh
you.
gosh.
Okay.
Real hydrated.
I know. If you like cottage cheese, take a drink.
Oh, I do. Sorry,
Oh,
people.
oh my gosh. No, I don't like it. I don't actually know because I haven't had it in a long time, but I did see on TikTok recently like a hack to blend it. And then it's kind of like whipped feta or like a whipped ricotta, and you put like honey and like cracked pepper
Oh,
stuff on it. And that actually sounds good.
interesting.
So I'll have to try it and then I'll maybe have to drink. Okay. If you're not following Beyonce on Instagram, drink, and how dare you? I
I
don't think
don't.
I'm following
I
her.
don't.
Oh, so
Uh-oh.
bad. Oh,
Sorry, Beyonce, if you're
poor
listening.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
She'll write about us on her next album.
Yeah.
Okay. And the show must go on. Theater kids, the spotlight is on you. Drink up. That
Yep.
is absolutely
Yep.
cheers to both of us.
Cheers. What was your last production you were in?
Oh my gosh. My senior year, what did we do? We did Footloose.
Oh, fun.
And that
Oh my
one.
gosh. I was in Fiddler on the Roof was my last one.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. I always like toy around with the idea of being like, oh, local theater
I
troupe.
know.
Like, can I get in? But then at the same time, I don't think I have time for that. Anyway, drink if you ever studied abroad in Europe and it totally changed your life.
I wish.
I
No.
never did. The only place in Europe that I've been to is Iceland. And I will say, I feel like that did kind of change my life just because it was the best place I've ever been, but I didn't study abroad. So
Yeah.
not drinking to that. Okay. If you think pineapple belongs on pizza, drink.
When I was a kid, I would say not recently. So I'm not going to drink because I don't eat that anymore.
I don't think it belongs on every slice of pizza, obviously, but like
Right.
a Hawaiian pizza
Yeah.
with ham and pineapple is good. So I'll just drink to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll drink a half sip to that.
Drink if you've ever participated in a Thanksgiving 5K. No way.
Yes.
I have not. I am not part of one of those families.
I have. It's quite fun, actually. You should try it.
I'm sure. It probably is fun, but Thanksgiving morning is reserved for watching the parade on TV and just lounging.
Also true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Drink if you own a water bottle that has become like a child to you.
Yes.
I have multiple children in that case because I have a whole cabinet full of beakers, BKR.
Yeah.
I've had them for so long. There was like a period in my life where I was addicted to buying them, and
Yep.
I don't even use all of them. So it's annoying.
Yeah. Yes. I have mugs too that are like that, if they ever go missing or are broken, I will probably cry. It's highly likely.
That's so funny. Okay, drink if you do your own taxes, and also congrats on being a real adult. Okay, I do that. Well, does it count? Like I use not TurboTax, whatever the other one is.
Yeah. If you do all of that counts. I
do
don't,
that.
but yeah, that counts for sure. Cause that's a lot of work. Yeah.
Players who took band or orchestra in middle school must reveal their instrument and then take a drink. Did you?
No.
Me either. Okay. Well, I guess we're boring on that question.
Well, I played the guitar, but I didn't do it at school. It wasn't like a class thing. So I don't know if that counts, but yeah.
That was one of my goals this year, was to learn guitar, and it is August and I haven't yet. So maybe in the next few months, we'll see what happens. Take a drink if you've seen every Harry Potter movie.
Yes.
I actually have not. I don't think I've seen the last couple. But we're both reading Harry Potter right now, and we want to do like a Harry Potter movie marathon when we're done and go to the parks.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
I'm now out of water, so I'm just taking air sips.
Taking air sips. Okay. I think we can wrap it up. Let me just find one that's a good last one. And let's see. If you have more than 3 keys on your key ring, drink up.
Oh yeah, I definitely do.
I have 2 actual keys and like a car key, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. Well, that was fun. I like it's different from the norm. I feel like
I know. That was so much fun. Thanks, Erica, for sharing your game with us. And thank you for listening all season 5 along with us and learning with us. I know I learned a lot. And very excited to just dive into the next season. We have a lot of awesome interviews coming up, but we'd love to hear your favorite moments from the season as well. So if you don't mind, it means a lot to us for you to just rate and leave us a review on your favorite platform. Let us know what you loved most about this season. And again, really appreciate that. But follow along with us on social media, on all platforms. Well, mostly Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are our favorites. But we'll be there all season break, just engaging and again, just trying to build this community up. And so we'll see you there. And then we'll see you back for season 6, I believe in October, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you so much for just being in the community in general. It means a lot to us. I think I mentioned in Amy's episode, I was like, I don't think anybody listens to this, but I know that you're all out there. And so it's really been cool to get to know people. And I think just continuing to do that will really fulfill us. So please reach out. Like Cassie said, please let us know your favorite moments, what you're looking forward to. And we'll catch you next season.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you more than you know, and we'll see you soon.